Right. And to mark their journey in today's demo day, they will pitch their innovative businesses. So are you ready to listen to their stories? I guess you are. So here's the agenda for today. All right. We're going to start with the welcome, and there will be 3 juries and some mentors that are going to share their introduction. And the pitch will be divided into 2 sessions. So the first round for startups and the second round for startups. You will see the details later on. And after all of the pitches are done, Dr. Ryan Isader will share a few words with the startups and provide also feedback. Some housekeeping notes. We would love to see you. So please keep your camera open and mute if it's not your turn to talk or pitch. And this demo day is recorded, and we will have several screenshots for our promotional materials. Hashtag Zoom screenshot. I know it's a little bit late. And also, please change your Zoom name to your name and your company name. So it will be, it will make it easier for us to allocate the breakout room. And any technical issues, please reach out to me. And Debbie is also here and our Impact team. So everybody who has Impact, you can reach out to us. So without further ado, let's get this demo day started. Right, moving on. Here with me today, my colleagues Jan and Sid will explain about AsiaBerlin and Impact and the landing pad. Jan, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Shira. Just as we kicked off, my internet connection started to be flaky. So I hope this works because I had difficulties to understand you. So yes, a warm welcome from my side. I'm one of the managing directors of enpact, and just as a brief introduction into who is enpact and who is AsiaBerlin, I give you a quick overview. So enpact is a non-profit organization founded in 2013. And meanwhile, we have more than 60 employees in 8 countries. Can you hear me?
Without any problem.
We can hear you, Jan.
I think Jan internet connection is going down.
Let's move ahead, Shira. I'll introduce the team and then we'll come back to Jan if
of course.
I think he's going to come back soon.
He's here.
He's here already. Okay, then we can go back.
Yeah, that's Murphy's Law, you know, like as the countdown goes down to going live, somehow connection breaks down. So yes, I mean, yeah, enpact has the mission to empower entrepreneurs to connect ecosystems, and we do this via international cooperation. So in a nutshell, we have a passion for startup founders because we believe you are the ones who drive change, who take things in their own hands to create solutions to the problems that exist out there. And enpact is active, as you can see here, pretty much around the globe, especially in emerging and developing countries. We have more than 3,000 startups and scale-ups in our network that we supported with more than 600 mentors and experts. We cannot do this alone, so we have 150 support organizations with which we collaborate, and all in all, the startups that we support and supported created more than 10,000 jobs. So what is the AsiaBerlin initiative? The AsiaBerlin initiative is an initiative that we do together with the Berlin Senate. It is initiated by the Berlin Senate for Economics, Energy and Enterprises. And the ambition of AsiaBerlin is to connect startup ecosystems, to connect the Berlin startup ecosystem as a gateway to Germany and Europe with the Asian startup ecosystems, and vice versa, as well as to connect the Asian startup ecosystems with each other. So it's a mission, it's an initiative, and it's a network. And this network is organized around activities. One of them you can see here right now, which is the Landing Pad program, a rather new initiative. And then we do for several years now other things such as delegation trips to Asia, to Southeast Asia, to China, like more South Asia, and to East Asia, India as well. And these delegation trips are organized around potential market expansion and to go on a scouting and see whether a market expansion is doable and relevant and interesting to startups and their founders. Then we are organizing events, monthly events, out of Berlin as well as out of our local hubs in the respective regions and countries, as well as initiatives around investors relations. We create an investors network, and we want to facilitate investments between Europe, Berlin, as well as and Asia and the respective regions there. And last but not least, the highlight during the year is the AsiaBerlin Summit, taking place now for decades actually, which is the flagship one-week conference in Berlin, where everyone comes together, all the stakeholders, and it has been over the last 2 years a hybrid event. So even though there was the pandemic, there was always the offline component taking place, and we hope that this year actually many more people from Asia are able to travel again to Berlin and participate. Yes, Sid, I hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Jan. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the demo day of the Landing Pad program. It has been an extensive and exhaustive 8-week journey for all of us in the team and all the founders. And as no good project is ever completed without a good team, I would just like to say thank you to everybody in the team. Shira, of course, you've met. Jan, you've met. Who's the managing director. Kalbi is a project lead. I'm a senior program manager and also one of the designers of the Landing Pad program. Martin as well, helping us with his tech expertise, and Debbie, who's joined us recently, and we hope this goes on long as well. Thank you so much to the whole team for helping us execute the Landing Pad program. And we move forward to tell you a little bit more about the Landing Pad program before you meet our exciting founders. As I said, it's an 8-week journey. These are all startups coming from Asia, from different parts, trying to expand their businesses in the European markets. And of course, Berlin being the entry point or the gateway city through which they would ideally want to expand their businesses in the European markets. There's many reasons why Berlin. I think most of us here know why Berlin is a city great for extending or expanding or starting a new company. We know the amount of venture capital money that is coming in Berlin. We know the kind of startup infrastructure that is available in Berlin, the kind of grants that the Berlin government also provides to startup founders. So there's numerous reasons why Berlin, but you'll hear about it more eventually as well. The Landing Pad program comprises of 3 main pillars: product market fit, investor readiness and networking, core business skills, and cultural integration. Product market fit, of course, is very important for us because these are founders coming from a different geography, from a different culture. And you never know whether the business is really going to be the same when you're expanding in a foreign market. It might be different when you're selling a product to consumers in the Asian markets, in China, in India, and in Japan, and it might become a completely different product. You might have to iterate upon the product. You might have to reinvent the product. You might have to change your sales strategy. there's a lot of different things which comprise on how you can really successfully scale your business in a foreign market, and which is why product market fit, where founders go, they do customer validation, they talk to real potential customers, they ask them concrete questions, whether you will buy a product, whether you will not buy a product, what kind of price points, etc., etc. And that's one of the core verticals of the landing pad program. The second, of course, being investor readiness and networking. Investors, of course, come with a very different mindset, asking critical questions to founders, and we facilitate investor interactions and investor feedbacks to founders, along with different kinds of coaching on how to get ready and get prepared with your pitches, so that you can become investable as soon as you exit from the landing pad program. The final vertical is core business skills. There's a lot of different kinds of facets in a business enterprise. When you're expanding in a foreign market, you might need to learn. You might need to learn the incorporation structures of the foreign market, the taxation, accounting spheres as well are needed to be understood by the founders. You have to also network a lot with local communities and local enterprises, so that you understand how business is done in the foreign market. And this is one of the main verticals as well for us in the landing pad program. Throughout the program, we try and facilitate as many networking opportunities for the founder, and of course after that as well. This is the second batch of the landing pad program. So we've already graduated a first batch last year, and we hope to move forward very soon. Thank you so much, Shira.
All right, thank you, Jan and Sid. We would like, of course, to thank to our mentors. Without you, this program wouldn't happen. So here they are, and some of them are here also with us. Maybe you would like to say one or two words. Priel is here. I see Priel.
Hi guys, just to say a very big congratulations for another round. It was really great, and of course congratulations for all the vertical startups. I really enjoyed it, and I really am enjoying to keep in touch with all of you after the sessions. So thank you very much for including me this time, and congratulations for the team.
Thank you, Priel. Priel is one of our mentors, and we also have others. Nancy is here as well with us.
Hi, everyone.
One or two words?
Of course. I'm really thankful for being part of this amazing program. I enjoyed it as much as I can express here. Also the touch points outside the program, and the huge opportunity that it's opened. The founders are amazing. And it has been a great pleasure coaching sales and marketing topics to help you prepare the pitch decks, the pitches, and anything that goes beyond. Great organization. Thank you to the whole team.
Thank you, Nancy, Priel. Thank you of all mentors that I haven't mentioned yet, but we will get to know more of you later. Now, I would like to introduce our juries for today. We have Stephanie, Jag, and Shilpika. So we can start. Introduce yourself, Stephanie, and then we go to Jag and Shilpika.
Okay. Am I on camera?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Obviously, don't use Zoom that much now. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Shira and Impact, for inviting me to be on the jury. It was also really great to be a mentor for this round and for the cohort that preceded it. And I'm really excited to see what everyone, all the pitches today. So thanks for inviting me. Oh, and I didn't introduce myself. I'm co-founder and managing director of Founderland. We're a nonprofit organization that exists to support women of color founders in their entrepreneurial journeys. And we are growing the largest community of women of color founders in Europe and the UK. So if you're interested in learning more, you can go to our website, founderland.org, and become an ally, join to be a founder or an investor. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Jag, happy to have everyone. You here.
Hey, thanks for having me again. And hello, I'm actually in warm and humid Malaysia at the moment. I was born here, my family live here, and it's so exciting to be able to provide the Asia-Berlin connection from the other side of the world this time. I'm Jag. I'm an active angel investor. I'm also a partner at a fund in Berlin called Angel Invest. We're one of Europe's most active angel funds, and we've probably backed a whole bunch of names that many of you will be familiar with. I previously ran Techstars in Berlin, and I've had the pleasure of mentoring many startups. But I particularly enjoyed mentoring the startups from this batch of the Impact Accelerator. And so I'm really excited to be able to meet these companies again and see how much progress they've made, and hopefully be able to provide a bit of feedback and maybe even learn a thing or two. So thanks again for having me, and good luck to everyone.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you so much. And last but not least, our third jury, Shilpika. Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you, Shira, for inviting me. This is a real honor. I actually come from India. I grew up there. And today I come to you from not so warm Berlin, but it's a real joy and delight to be able to, like Jag in many ways, and many of you on this call, bring a grounded in Asia perspective, but with having the privilege and the opportunity to build business around the world. I am currently the co-founder of a climate fintech called Salt, and we're trying our very best to bring speed and scale to addressing the climate challenge with an equitable lens. And as you know, maybe relevant for some of you on the call today, I have spent the last 15 years building tons of businesses across fintech, across financial services, and tech, overall. So really excited to be here and learn from you today and see, all the awesome things you all get to do. Thank you.
Thank you, three of our juries. Really happy to have you here. So to continue, let's meet the founders. All right, so we have Rudy and Adi from Indonesia, Irene now in Thailand. We have Dilendra, Migara, and also Miller from Sri Lanka, and Somita and Madan from India. I know that a lot of you are already cannot wait to hear their pitches, so there it is. The pitching will be the pitch will be 5 minutes from each founders, and the feedback from the juries will also be 5 minutes from 3 of the juries, and we will have the timer on the screen so that you can see. And Debbie, please help me with the sound. When it's 1 minute before the end of your pitch, yes, you can see that, right? This is gonna be how it sounds. And you can also see the back end. We are very, and when your time is over, you will hear. So all good, all the sound and what's gonna happen. And you can see also the timer, so don't worry about it. Right, without further ado, let's start from our first founder, Rudy from Patemar. The stage.
Hi, Shira. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Just share my screen really quickly. Can you see my screen? Okay. I'll start. Hi, everyone. My name is Rudy, and I'm the founder of Patemar. Patemar is a Latin wordplay that means stewards of the ocean. My journey started back in 2017 when I started scuba diving around my home country, Indonesia. And that's on the same year Bali declared a state of trash emergency after seeing tons of plastic wash ashore in its beaches. Definitely a stark reminder that Indonesia is the world's second ocean polluter. The picture above is now a daily reality for some of us. And it's not all that surprising that the world has been mass producing plastic since 1950, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Now, I'm not here to talk to you guys about the problem more. I think you've seen the news, you've seen the picture, you've read, you've seen the graphs many times. But what I'm here to do is to show you a solution that might help us make a change. What if I tell you that this pair of swim short could salvage 3.5 pounds of plastic waste from the ocean? All in all, in production process uses 0% petroleum, less water, less energy, and less greenhouse gas emission. Let me introduce you to Patemar. Patemar is a premium sustainable lifestyle product. Our very first product is swimwear, swim shorts for men made 100% out of regenerated plastic waste taken from ocean-bound waterways. All of our products are then carefully handmade by our master tailors in Bali. Our vision is very simple. We want to reintroduce people to a sustainable brand that not only does good, but looks good and feels good as well. After thorough research on a global market, we intentionally chose Germany as our entry point to the EU. Germany has 61 million euro market size for men's swimwear alone, with 6% annual growth rate. But more importantly, the reason why we chose Germany is because the market is less saturated as compared to other EU. That means that innovation in Germany is very, very strong. However, there's little to no brand loyalty. So, and that's the main reason why we believe Germany is the perfect entry point to Europe. We then did a field survey, and there are a couple of things that our target customer shows us. They want 3 things out of it: is access, style, and how credible is our claim to sustainability. Now, we then arranged 5 direct competitors. On the very left is the cheapest one according to its selling point, and on the very right is the most expensive. Patemar is in the middle at our selling price of 130 euro. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but as you can see, we are winning in most of the categories, starting from access, style, and of course, sustainability, where we stood out the most. In short, with lower price, we are already offering a better USP to our customers. And who's our customers? Our customers are millennials by the age of 25 to 40 years old. So imagine fresh graduates and mid-level managers who wants to have a higher and more sustainable lifestyle. The data was pulled, this data was pulled last year, and it shows us a couple of things. So 90% of our customers are on mobile version, and also our website is working well. Our customers are flipping through different pages, so not only 1 or 2 pages, actually 4.5 pages on average, as well as they come back for more than once through our website. Next, we started operation last year, where we managed to get 22K revenue in our pilot testing. And this is just by selling from our website. We projected within 2 years of operations, we'll grow exponentially to achieve 1 million euro in revenue. The key factors that would contribute to this success would be expansions of channels and platforms for sales. So not only our website, we're going to have pop-up stores, so more physical stores, online and offline retailers as well. Actually managed to secure 2 different online retailers that will join us next month. And also more expansions on payment gateway, introducing invoicing systems and installments, more product offering, and also international trade shows such as Messe Frankfurt or Panorama in Berlin. Common in the industry, our expenses will swell big, mostly on marketing efforts. So we invest more on Facebook and Google ads, as well as organic traffics. We are looking for strategic advisors in retail and sustainable practices to join us and to advise us, as well as to look for their funding in the near future and to join the team. Right now, our team consists of my CFO and myself. I have the background in my family business in garment productions, and I'm essentially looking for better ways to move forward in this industry. And that's it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Rudy. Now we go directly to our juries. Yes, the clap, Irene. I love it.
That was very fast.
Rudy, thank you. It's Shilka. This is a subject very close to my heart. I actually spent some time collecting water bottles on the banks of several rivers, trying to build these things. Question for you: in your in your sort of target group, do people care more about the price point, or is the sustainability part is what drives them to buying from you? What have you found in your sort of research and as you build stuff out?
Right. Thank you for the question. So since we sold for globally for our website, right? And 90% of our customers are Germans. We did a lot of testings, and Germans actually care a lot on the messaging of the sustainability part. So we tested a couple. One is sustainability, 2 price point, and 3 is actually the handmade part. And Germans, for example, really respond really well on our ads on sustainability. So more on the fact base that it is, we take a lot of our plastics from the oceans and from landfill. But for example, we also sold a couple in Austria as well as in Switzerland, and they respond really well on the handmade part. So to answer your question, I think it's very market based, and for us, we want to focus more on the people that respond well to certain messaging that we give.
Thank you, and that's an expanding pool. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Rudy. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Stephanie.
Congratulations. So I know that in our mentoring session, we talked a lot about how you wanted to elevate this brand and have it be a luxury brand and placed in sort of 5-star hotels. How are you dealing with this communication that would challenge opportunity around really, locking into the sustainability approach, and how you kind of saw that going to the full luxury end of the spectrum would kind of not be talking about sustainability, and how are you going to integrate these two concepts that you originally thought were mutually exclusive?
Right. I think one thing that's clear is that the two between sustainability and luxury, they're not necessarily mutually exclusive, in a sense that you can actually get both, or you can get it separate as well, right? I think one thing that we found is that pairing with the right B2B retail channels is best. For example, it doesn't make sense for Patemar if we're targeting on the upper scale of the market to be in Amazon.com. So I think that is something that we really want to be careful in terms of curating who is our B2B partners, where are we going to place our product marketing. The two online retailers that we've secured to partner up with, they're all in the same scheme. One is based in Paris and Hong Kong. It's called Fudelon. They're winner of Vogue Singapore an incubator program, and the other one is actually out of German's own Messe Frankfurt program called Stay. They're in the sustainable fashion, like high fashion industry. So I think that is the way to go, and we're moving onwards with this strategy.
Great, good to see you've made that progress. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool, Rudy. So I've got 2 quick questions. First, I'm curious what the grand vision is here. If you're trying to be, I don't know, if you're trying to move beyond swim shorts and board shorts, for me, right, there's a glaring like 50% of or more than 50% of the population that's that you're missing out here in terms of female swimwear. So I'm curious where you want to take this. That's the first question. And secondly, you've set a target of reaching $1 million in revenue within the next 3 years. I'm curious, what would you need to do that within the next year?
Right. So 2 questions. I think the first question is I think it's not only 50%, Jack. I think it's more than 75%. When I take a look at it, the women's swimwear market is so much bigger. But right now, as I showed, we're only 2 founders and both are male. It doesn't make sense, and I keep on telling my co-founder that we're not going to make a female swimwear if it's only the 2 of us, until there's a female on board who's on the decision-making process as well to join the team. On the bigger picture, I call Patemar as a lifestyle brand instead of a fashion brand. we definitely want to evolve more than just in the swim shorts business. We started with this because we take something from the water that people use to go back into the water. But currently we're already talking into different partners. For example, we're about to produce a cap, a baseball cap, 100% recycled from brim of baskets as well. So what we're trying to achieve here is a shift in the mindset of customers that it's not just swim shorts, it's not just clothing, but it could be your daily stuff that you could buy that is more sustainable, that could help the ocean and could help the world, and that's where we're going forward. The grand vision is to go into sort of the resort wear, to be in hotels. You see they have a line of different kinds of bags, starting from, say, sunscreens, for example. That's just very simple things that we're also thinking to do. I'm a diver, so that's something that I want to go towards into as well. And the second question, $1 million. First of all, as I said, strategic advice is something that we need. We do need funding, but I think this will come a bit later on, after a year of our operations with more team on board. And we are expanding our operations in different parts of the world. We're currently testing our ads outside of Germany. We already know that Germany works really well for us, and the DACH market works well, but we are currently doing the UK, Australia, and the US as well. So and that's first and foremost. We expand more on our physical presence as well, as things are starting to open up outside of Europe. We think that is more payment options, and as well as more product offering as something that will help us to get into our projection by 2024.
Great, thank you, Rudy and the juries.
Hello?
We will bring the further conversations during the networking session for sure. So if you have questions to Rudy later on, we can go and talk directly with Rudy later. So now we're moving on to the next founder. Madan, are you here with us?
Yeah, hi, thanks, Shira. Let me show.
All right, so the stage is yours. Time will start.
Guten Tag, hello everyone. This is Madan. I'm the CMO and head of global sales for Shop Connect. So today I'll be going through the Shop Connect. What is Shop Connect about? So Shop Connect, so we redefine personalization. And when we talk about redefining personalization, what it means and why we're doing it, let me talk about it. So we looked at some of the pain points in the retail, mainly on the online stores. There's a missing personalization, which costs about 2.5 trillion USD globally, and close to about 45% reduction in brand loyalty. And even the online returns, if you look at it, right, due to the missing personalizations and some of the immersive and interactive views, it's close to about 25 to 30%. And if you look at the physical stores, due to the pandemic, it's been more than about 50% reduced footfalls. And again, parking rules and weather conditions in the urban regions, mainly the parking. So that's that adds to the reduction in the footfalls. So we came up with Shop Connect. So Shop Connect is a SaaS-based hyper-personalization e-commerce and video shopping platform for premium brands and retailers. So with Shop Connect, we provide highly immersive and interactive experiences using our AI-powered engines. There are 4 sectors what we do. One is on the video shopping, using which the retailers and brands can integrate the Shop Connect widget to their website, providing their customers immersive and interactive video shopping experience, including a shop party and an intelligent video call routing. that's where we started our journey. And we went on to add and develop the product into by providing a whole lot of personalization tools like the collection boards, virtual try-ons, virtual stores, 360-degree views, and much more. And using this, our brands can create immersive experiences through various catalogs, digital catalogs, and do promotions of that to their end customers with a built-in virality. And we have plugins for the social media. And all of these catalogs are enabled with e-commerce, which means the end customers don't have to visit the website. So they can look at the products, they can experience the various immersive experiences which can be provided. And if they like the product, they add to the cart and check out. So using this, our platform, we've seen brands and retailers close to about 25% increased sales and conversions, close to about 40% increased average order value, and an increased, close to about 50% increased buyer engagement. So these are some of the Shop Connect features which are brands, which we provide to the brands on the SaaS platform. They can create interactive lookbooks, and when we talk about interactive lookbooks, they can add hotspots. We have recommendation engines to see what are the products which a customer might be interested in. Then we have the interactive virtual stores. Again, I call it out as an interactive virtual store, using which the end user can look at the hotspots, interact with the hotspots, look at the collections, and if they like it, they can go ahead and buy it. Then we have a video shopping and a whole lot of actionable insights and analytics. Virtual try-ons, currently we provide for the jewelry and e-commerce enabled. If you look at the target market, it's close to about 40 billion, and we are looking at about a sum of about 1.2 billion, mainly on the premium brands and retailers. And we already have a presence in India and United States. And we are trying to get into the market of EU, starting with Germany. We have 50 plus premium brands and retailers, close to about 100K plus products viewed, 9K plus transactions. And we recently raised about 3 million in pre-series round. These are some of our customers, mainly the brands, designer brands, and in India and US. And some of the brands that we started speaking to in Germany, mainly for EU and Germany, we're trying to get the GDPR compliance done, which will be done by end of this month. About the team, Dilip Babu is the founder and CEO. I'm the CMO, Ravindra Jain, the CTO, Raghu and Emma. And on the advisory board, we have some leaders who've been Motorola and Cisco and so on. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Madan. Right.
I can go first.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Madan. So first of all, this is a new term to me. I guess I'm curious about, I understand what personalization is, but I'm curious about this slide where you have this statistic around missing personalization, 2.5 trillion globally and 45% reduction in brand loyalty. How do you kind of quantify whether there's a need for this and what that means that there's the personalization that you will be providing with this service will actually make the brand loyalty stronger, or this loss of 2.5 trillion? Yeah. Where do those stats come from, and how do you bring them in?
Yeah, so before we get into the stats, let me give you a simple thing. Now, one of the pain points, what we've seen, or a drop in the brand loyalty or sales conversion, is because of personalized attention. And that's where we started our journey. So what we try to bridge as the first cut is trying to bridge the shoppers, the online shoppers, to the store using an interactive video shopping. It's not just a video shopping, okay? It's an interactive video shopping where the end customers can see a curated collection, and that again comes from our AI-powered engines, curated collections, and along with that, see the products in life. So this means a lot, especially for some of the customers coming in from regions like India and I would say the Asia part, and to a very large extent on the US part too, where that's the first step in the personalization. Now, we went ahead and enhanced it, not just to a video, interactive video e-commerce, but giving them an experience like virtual try-ons, wherein they can they can try the products virtually. With this, the reduction, there will be a reduction, there is a reduction in returns. So that's one of the things. We've given the brands, okay, a virtual walkthroughs of their stores so that the customers not only are buying the products, but also try to experience the stores without stepping into it, interacting. And with this, they also get to interact with the salespeople. So there's a whole lot of personalization which has been added, which can help on this. So the statistics is coming from the various sources, just to let you know, from the various Gartner and other reports.
Okay, I have follow-up questions, but I'm going to let Shubka or Jag come on in because there's not enough time.
Sure.
Hey, but then I got a quick question here.
Yes, Jag.
Why are you trying to, many startups, and the recommended path for most startups is to really secure one market before they move into another. And you're, if I understand correctly, you're operating in India, the US, and now you're trying to enter Europe. Why not spend a bit more time, like securing the markets on the periphery of India, so Southeast Asia, the Middle East, before making such a big leap into the European market? I've actually got a ton of experience in retail space, and these are just such wildly different ecosystems. So I'm curious why Europe immediately.
Yeah, so if you look at it, Jag, one, there's a huge opportunity what we have in India with a lot of big brands, and US. Now, if you're talking about the top brands in the world, they're mainly from Europe. And I'm currently based out of Munich in Germany. So I have access to a whole lot of networking out here. And that's one of the reasons too, okay, of looking at the EU market. When I say EU market, primarily looking at Italy, France, Germany, mainly the DACH regions, and Spain. Definitely the UK, UKI is also there, okay, the English-speaking nations. So with respect to the EU nations, we are working on the GDPR compliance, which is very crucial to enter this market. But our sales force, we are increasing in India. We've already increased in India and in the US markets. This is a very big opportunity for us in the EU, Jack, with most of the big brands present here.
Yeah, I would disagree here, but maybe that's something we can follow up on in the breakout rooms. But thanks, I appreciate it.
Time is up. Shilpika, do you want to share one or two words before we move on to the next founder?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's, first of all, Madan, thank you. It was a lot of really critical points to get through. So I appreciate you also bringing that clarity in a very short amount of time. I think just to tag on to what Jack was saying, having had some experience around GDPR and some of those more mature markets, it would be interesting to maybe take some of that and think about how in markets where the maturity is different and maybe emerging, where you could have an unfair advantage while you can shape the ecosystem. Here, I think in Europe, there is definitely a more regulated environment. So I think finding that edge and where you can grow most quickly and most sustainably would be really interesting. But yeah, thank you so much for bringing it.
Thanks all.
All right, thank you, Shilpika, Jack, and Stephanie. Thank you, Madan. Now let's move on to the next pitch. We have here Dilendra.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Thanks, Shira.
Yes, stage is yours.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Dilendra.
Okay. So I'm going to talk really fast, quite a few slides. Okay, so small and medium-sized retailers have had rapid growth in the last 5 years. But today, when they start to scale their campaigns, their return on ad spend is declining. And the biggest reason is competition. So take, for example, a shoe retailer in Mumbai, right? 5 years ago, they were competing with 6 or 7 brands. Today, they are fighting against 25 different brands. And they're going after the same audiences across the same channels and using the same tools that the platforms give in order to differentiate. But this is not working, right? So the solution is to use predictive analytics to find new audiences that want to buy from your brand, right, today. And that's the most important part of it, right? And however, predictive analytics is expensive because hiring data scientists, integrators, etc., is very costly, and small and medium-sized businesses cannot afford that. So that's why we built Alavi, right? A SaaS application that does predictive analytics for digital marketers in small and medium-sized online retail brands. And it costs 70% less than similar enterprise applications. So who is Alavi for? Alavi is for B2C brands in the apparel space, electronics, gifting, beauty, etc., right? Who have online revenues of about $70,000 to about $30 million, right? And when a digital marketer signs up to Alavi and they come in, right, they are always trying to figure out, how can I target new people who want to buy from my brand, right? So now Alavi is showing them in this situation 40 new experimental audiences with these attributes, right, that they could target. This is just one audience, but that they could target, right, on Facebook, say, for example, that are most likely to buy from their brand in the next 7 days, right? And Alavi audiences have given a 25 to 90% uplift to customers over other audiences that they can find themselves, right? And with a click of a button, they can create campaigns on say, for example, Facebook. And not only that, Alavi even gives data-driven recommendations to improve and optimize their Facebook campaigns. And this is saving digital marketers 50% of their time, optimization time, right? So Alavi has grown nicely over the last year. We've grown from 9 customers to 18. Our quarterly recurring revenue has grown by about 60%, and our G2 crowd rating is 4.5 stars. So there's a large addressable market for Alavi, over 200,000 companies with about $70,000 to $30 million in online revenue. And this makes up about a $3 billion market opportunity. So yes, there's a large underserved market for predictive analytics in the small and medium-sized space, right? There are several companies helping these small businesses improve marketing, but we are the only one using predictive analytics to improve their targeting, right? And it starts at just $99 a month. So our long-term sustainable competitive advantage is really data. As we get thousands of customers, right, it improves our expertise, which helps us build better technology, which helps us deliver more value to customers, and then get more customers that, you know, gets us even more data. So the flywheel just keeps spinning faster. Alavi was co-founded by Dinesh and myself. We have 25 years of digital marketing experience amongst us. Jagat is our CTO with over 14 years of product development experience. About 9 of them at Virtus are NASDAQ quoted company. Our investors include the former head of Airbnb, the chief digital officer of Equifax, and Professor Mohan Munasinghe, who was the vice chair of the UN panel that won the Nobel Peace Prize. Our goal is to be an $8.5 million business by 26 and to be a $100 million business in the next 12 years. We are looking to raise $500,000, right, to get to product market fit by the end of the year, right, get to $1 million run rate in Q1 of 2023, and then raise our Series A the mid to end 23. We plan to use the funds to expand our current marketing regions, which is India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, into Indonesia, Thailand, etc., and also grow our engineering and product teams. Thank you. That.
Thank you, Dilendra. Amazing. Thank you, Dilendra. That was actually really clear. And also, like, this is really helpful to also see it all in one place. And congratulations on getting through, which was undoubtedly a tough time during COVID. So, you know, well done.
Thank you.
One of the things that would be useful for me to understand, so in my sort of previous roles, we've tried to use some of these analytics companies. And you said earlier that, you know, from a price point perspective and predictive capability perspective, you are, you know, miles apart from some of the enterprise offerings, so on and so forth. What is, who are the incumbents that you're trying to unseat here? Who are your biggest kind of competitors in the territories you are in today?
Yeah, so we are what we are saying is we are 70% cheaper than the enterprise. The enterprise products have a lot more capability, like personalization capability, but we have less personalization, and that has actually proven to be a better place to be, because today people are moving away from you know, getting data at an individual level to targeting at a group level and interest-based targeting, which is what we are doing. So we are really right for the times. And in our markets, we have in the small and medium space. So you'll get like Metigi and companies like that are and Magix, for example, etc., that are helping digital marketers, but they are not doing predictive analytics, right? So the guys who are doing predictive analytics and costs like, you know, thousands of dollars, they're okay. Technically, they are competitors, but really can't be afforded by small and medium-sized business. And small and medium-sized business don't have the data, right, yeah, to achieve that kind of hyper personalization.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are there specific type of brands and retailers that have found your services to be most useful within that category of SMEs?
Yeah. So, I mean, fashion and apparel has naturally been most of our companies, brands. So still it's small numbers, right? I think real big growth will come when we hit product market fit. So even in that world, the fashion and apparel brands are the ones that are, you know, we are seeing the highest numbers of conversions.
Awesome, thank you. I do have a follow-up question, but maybe I'll let Jag and Steph take it from here. But if they don't, maybe I would just ask, one of the challenges that we saw some of the companies face in servicing maybe the markets that we were operating in before, so the previous company, was around data and the availability and the GDPRs of the world and the regulation. You know, how can you find the data to make this product work? Is this something that you see as an advantage in the markets you operate in, or as a challenge because of upcoming regulation?
So how we treat data, whether we are in Europe or in India, in the same way, same respect, right? So for example, we take customer first data fully anonymized, right? And we don't know any individual information about them, and it's all given by our customers, and it's all customer first data. So it's given with permission, and we pull it out of different platforms. So really connecting Alavi just takes like 15 minutes. Right, and it pulls from Shopify, Google Analytics, Facebook, all that, and that data is what we really use.
Super, thank you for that, making that so clear. Thanks so much.
I can jump in for a follow-up question if Jag doesn't have one. So Dilendra, congratulations. I was really excited about your software when we met, and I'm still excited about it. We did talk a little bit in our session about who your ideal customer is, and you said something along the lines of the performance marketer at a small business, small, medium-sized business. Is that still your ideal customer who you're trying to acquire more of?
Yes, undoubtedly. So this product is built for digital marketers, right? And our mission is to build a product that becomes the only product that a digital marketer needs to do multi-channel marketing, and yeah, so it's just a one-stop product that helps not only in targeting but in optimization, in budgeting across channels.
And have you solved this problem or this opportunity to really sort of work on the brand to tap into the strategy of acquiring more of this specific customer?
Yeah, so we are, as I said, we haven't reached product market fit yet. We are probably 2 to 3 iterations away from that. But each time we put out something, we are getting closer and closer, and we can see that conversion rates, etc., retention rates, all those are improving.
Awesome. Okay, Jack.
So I actually built my third startup that I built was in a very similar space. So I have a million questions, but I think the most important one here is how much time are your users spending in your dashboard?
So we look at weekly engagement, right? And we see that there are at least once or twice a week people connect, and average they connect for about 30 to 45 minutes is what the connection rate is, and it's typically 1 to 3 people in a company that connect. So some connect for much longer, some connect for much shorter, because if it's a more senior person, they kind of look at the dashboard, right? That's it. But the digital marketer, for example, would spend more time launching campaigns, understanding optimization, etc. for the week.
So a good rule of thumb here is if, and this is based on, based on what investors are looking for, you kind of want to aim for about a day a week of usage. It doesn't have to be just one day, and the whole week can be split up. But you want to aim for adding so much value that you have one of your users basically spending literally 20% of their time on this, because then you can justify charging a lot more to the companies as well. But I think we can have a conversation later on and go into detail about some of these things. But cool, looks good.
Thanks.
Right. Thank you for the feedback and questions. I guess thank you, Dilendra, and congratulations. Now we are going to move on to our 4th startup before going to the short break. We have here Migara. Are you ready?
Yes, indeed. Let me share my screen.
Oh, so fast. Cool.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Thank you. And hi, everyone. I'm Migara Amithodhana, co-founder of MAGICBIT, joining from Colombo, Sri Lanka today. And we are an edtech solution designing company, especially in the STEM space, targeting the K-12 students worldwide. For example, how cool would it be if I tell you that even a 10-year-old kid can develop this sort of a smart plant monitoring system with all parameters on your mobile in just 10 to 15 minutes? So this is what we are enabling at MAGICBIT. So the background that we are addressing is we are living through Industry 4.0, and the education systems are changing with STEM education, activity-based learning to face this challenge, and tech innovations has become a major part of that. So whether you are a parent or a school or an education institution, you all are facing the same problems, like the difficulty, cost, resources, the knowledge gap, compatibility issues. So we thought of developing a solution for all these problems. And the solution that we had in our mind was which should be fast to adopt, easy to use, cost-effective, and scalable. And that's why we came up with our MAGICBIT innovation ecosystem. So we have created the ideal hardware, software, mobile apps, content, and that's a community and partner network too. So all these different parts enable everyone, students, teachers, schools, connecting everyone to share the knowledge, innovate new things and learn new things related to the technology. For example, our hardware line has started from our signature product, MAGICBIT, which is a tiny computer which can be programmed to create different innovations. And we have 3 hardware products as of now. And we are supporting many software platforms out there, plus the cloud platforms, which are the popular cloud platforms like Azure, GCP, and AWS. And we have created our own software like MagicBlocks, which is basically a drag and drop visual coding language. So if someone is not familiar with programming, they can start developing innovations using MagicBlocks. So what we are trying to address here is technology is not just for engineers or technicians anymore. It should be for everyone. And the areas we are addressing as of now is programming, robotics, IoT, and electronics. So we are providing a distinct advantage with our modular design, simplified learning curve, easy and fun with technology. For example, all the hardware modules are plug and play like this. So a sensor can be plugged in very easily, eliminating the need for wires, soldering, and all that, which makes parents worrying about their kids involving in these kind of activities. So apart from that, apart from selling our product through digital channels from B to C, we are partnering with schools and education institutions to take this value to the student communities by providing them the total solution with our content, hardware, software, support, training the teachers, and providing the other services. Since we started in 2019, we beta launched in 2020, and last year we did a Kickstarter campaign very successfully. And through all these years, we got all these long-term partners working with us to share this knowledge with the students. And our Kickstarter campaign we did last year was a massive success. And with that, we were able to reach to over 30 countries. And now this tiny computer we have shipped to over 30 countries. And also we got international attention with PR and appearing on some of the top tech blogs in the world. And we are standing out from the competition with the ease of use and cost effectiveness. And so the market that we are addressing is age 8 to 18 students. And there are promising numbers in our region as well as throughout the world. And for this unique value, we have received a number of recognitions, both locally and internationally. And the team behind MAGICBIT, Anuruddha Akalanka and myself, are engineers by profession. And we got together to create this value because we share the same passion of taking the knowledge about technology into the community. And our future plan, right now we are closing our pre-seed round and we are developing more partnerships, and we'll be launching our subscription-based learning platform this year. And our target is to go for $1 million ARR by the next year. And that's about it. So let's do magic with MAGICBIT, everyone. Thank you, and I'm ready for questions.
Thank you so much, Migara. It's lovely to see what you're building. One of the questions for me is, how are you sort of selling this into the market today? What's your go-to-market, and what are some of the key things you want to do between now and scaling up the ARR? Can you talk a little bit about how you get to your customers?
So basically, we launched our product through the digital channels at first, and as a step towards exploring the other markets, we launched the Kickstarter campaign. And through that, we got a few opportunities, and we'll be launching in Amazon US our product by the next month. So basically, we'll be exploring the e-commerce retail channels for our hardware products. Plus, we have our subscription-based learning platform is coming up in this year. So that will be again reaching out to B2C sector. Plus, through because we received some international PR and all, so we have few leads in our pipeline, around 20 leads that we are working on for partnerships in other regions as well as in our home country. So our main goal is to capitalize on those partnerships launched in the e-commerce platforms, and also expand our B2C reach through our learning platform.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. Thank you.
Hi, Migara, how are you? I have a question about the profit margin. So it looks like on the US website, at least, there's $79 per MAGICBIT. What kind of profits are you getting on each piece?
So our basic product, the MAGICBIT basic unit, only the basic unit, we are having around 40% margins. And with our MAGICBIT Pro, the $79 kit, we have over 50% margins as of now.
Great. And with this investment, how are you going to scale the team? Who are your first hires?
Yeah. So right now we have around 5 members in our team. So we'll be expanding to around 8 to 9 members. And the key members that we need to develop is for marketing, for especially targeting the digital marketing sector, as well as handling the partnerships and all. Plus, we'll be hiring other 2 members for the content development part, because we think that guiding the students through this learning journey and all that is a key part of this our business. And because of that, we are hiring the others for content development part.
Great, thanks. Jag?
What were your learnings from the Kickstarter campaign? Because obviously you had some engagement with the community there, you had some engagement with backers, and you've already fulfilled some of the pledges, right?
Yeah.
What are the learnings that you've had based on that?
So I think the main goal in launching in Kickstarter was to get the response from others around the world for our product and about our platform. And so far, we received both positive and some points for improvements as well when it comes to our learning content, when it comes to the journey that they have to follow through when they are setting up our devices and all that. So I think that it has been super helpful to know different feedbacks from different regions. I'll tell you a very good example. The packaging that we have in our product contained a certain material which is prone to static charges in certain regions when it's winter, right? So we just got to know that through Kickstarter only when we ship our products to Canada. So we got that feedback from Canada. So the main points that we learned was that there's an audience for our product, definitely, because our Kickstarter campaign, we were quite doubtful about our launch as well. But when we launched, suddenly it was oversubscribed within just 4 hours. So we knew that there's an audience for our product, and based on the traction we got through Kickstarter and the networking and the PR, I think we learned that there's a market for our product and there are customers who has this need. Plus, we came to know that there's an engaging crowd for this sort of learning experience.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
Congratulations, Migara. Yes, Jag.
I was going to say, I have more questions, but I thought that we were at time. So
thank you all for your questions. And if you have any further questions, so please do forward to us even later on. Maybe we can continue the discussion. Thank you very much.
Would love to.
Thanks, Migara. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Stephanie, Shilpika. And before we moving on to our short break, I would like to invite everyone to turn on their camera. Let's see your beautiful faces. It's sunny here. I want to brag about the sun because I know in Berlin it's very, very dark and gloomy. Yes, I would like to invite you to turn on your camera and we're gonna take a group screenshot before we go into the short break. Are you all ready? All right, Debbie, let's go. Maybe we can do thumbs up.
First, 1, 2, 3, guys.
All pages, Debbie.
Yes. Next pages, please go. 1, 2, 3. Another one, the last page. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, everyone. We are AsiaBerlin team, so taking a screenshot is a must for us. So you will see yourself later on in our post communication. So be excited. Now, Debbie, we're gonna go into 3.5 minutes break, not 5 minutes anymore. So get your water, your tea, if it's cold, candies, snacks, chocolate, to keep you energized, because we still have 4 pitches to go. So see you in 3.5 minutes, which is going to be not too long. Yes, agree, Irene. Debbie, let's play some music. 3 minutes music. Debbie?
Just 1 second.
Yeah, we have a request of a Bergen. Wait, how do I pronounce this club in Berlin? I've never been there, so I don't know how you call it.
Berghain.
Berghain.
Shira, didn't you live in Berlin? What is this? What is this?
Yeah, it was Corona. I didn't have the time to go to Berghain.
Okay, apparently it got close, but here we go.
Techno time, Debbie.
And
DJ Debbie.
techno time. Unfortunately, I only have professional music. We can have the after party later with the techno music.
I like your mood, Shira. It's amazing.
I know. Move your head, guys. We have some beat here. Irene, I was expecting. Berghain mode. All right. Wait, how come time passed so fast? We are already 2:45 now, Berlin time. It must be quite late in India, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia. So we should give the big applause to all of our funders who are now already in the almost evening time, very late. Thank you for staying awake. Thank you for being energized to your day. I want to hear a real clapping sound. Is there a clap sound, Debbie? All right. I think all of us are here. We will see you. Put your camera on so we can move on to the second round of the pitches. All right. Is everyone ready? I guess we are. Great. Okay, Stephanie's back. Shulika and Jack is here. And the first of the second round, Miller from Sense Argo. The stage is yours, Miller.
Thank you, Shira. Hope my screen is visible. Hello world. Hope you are doing good. Let me know my screen is visible for you.
Yes, it is visible. A little bit of sound.
Right. Thank you so much. It's okay. Good to go.
All right, let's go, Miller.
Right. Hello world. This is Miller from Sense Agro, Sri Lanka, an agriculture technology company. Sorry, Shira. Good to go. Shira.
A bit of connection issues here, Miller.
Stepson.
Maybe we can try no video, Miller, so that
sure.
We can make sure that, and then we restart the pitch. Yeah?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Once again.
Yes. All right, let's check if it's better now.
Right, sure. Right.
Yes.
Ready?
We haven't seen the screen. Is it just me? Okay, great. Okay, Miller, the stage is yours.
Cool. Thank you. Hello world. This is Miller from Sense Agro, Sri Lanka. Sense Agro, it's an affordable sensor-based precision agriculture technology company. I'm a fifth generation farmer, and I never saw my father making profit and producing the optimum harvest. It's not only my father, more than 500 million farmers, smallholder farmers around, are far from optimal. At this point of time, we need 1.6 planet to feed the entire world. By 2050, we need more than 70% food production need to be improved. At the same time, we find the other way around, the three major problems it's made these things impossible. We personally believe if smallholder farmers could produce optimum, they can feed the world alone. But it's not possible because of increasing frequency of climate change, and conventional intuition-based farming practices are far from optimal because their untimely actions and their previous historical knowledge are not applicable that cause plenty of low quality production and crop damage. Globally, understanding the plant more, understanding the practices more is the solution for producing more with less. That's where precision agriculture play a major role. Sense Agro is a super affordable, localized, crop-specific intelligence precision agriculture technology company. We build sensors which understand the weather, microclimate, and soil parameters which are so important for the plant's growth. We plant an array of sensors in our smart intelligence AI platform, IoT platform, which enable crop-specific intelligence and predictive analytics, where farmers make timely, perfect decisions, where they are not making any simple mistake throughout the agriculture process. So we allow them to produce more with less without compromising the future. Our specialty is relies on our value proposition. We are a crop-specific intelligence company. There are hundreds of precision agriculture companies doing precision sensor-based technologies, but our specialty is the crop-specific intelligence. We understand the parameters through sensors. Crop-specifically, we build algorithms and predictive models which allow the farmer to produce 8 to 15% more yield in different crop varieties and save more than 30% of water and chemical cost on the ground. And we allow them to have remote access and efficient management where they are not making any wrong practices which cause crop damage. We have a very interesting business model. We're serving FPOs and farmer groups and individual commercial farmers and agribusinesses. We are using our direct sales channel. At the same time, we piggyback on existing agriculture service providers like irrigation companies and greenhouse builders as our channel partners. As our pricing structure, we have a pay-as-you-go model where farmers pay a monthly fee for the exact crop rotation only. That's very unique, where without no fear, no capital expense, farmers adopt agri-tech. That's how we enable 6,000 smart farmers in Sri Lanka who never know phones for agriculture at all. At the same time, during COVID, we somehow managed to make 8 partners globally, and Sensagro now operating in 5 different countries. So we have a fantastic success story and product market fit in Sri Lanka. We are 2 to 3 iterations behind to go global, where we can try to replicate this exact model in the mature agtech markets like Germany, Netherlands, and Spain, and the important countries. Our ultimate vision is to make 1 million farmers around the world, which lead us to produce over $20 million revenue by 2025. At the moment, despite the COVID situation, we somehow managed to make $140,000 in Sri Lanka alone, and which lead us, our small team, to become break-even by the first quarter of this year. We are scouting a $750,000 USD for an exchange of 25% of our company to replicate the exact success story in the EU market and building a business development facility, especially the individuals, to create our networks for partnerships and direct sales. At the same time, improving our development with the certifications, which is reliable for EU. We are continuous generations of farmers and engineers, agronomists, and vast knowledge advisor panel board team. So one of our member is Mr. Donat Chinaya, was the former managing our DNA. We serve more than 6,000 rural farmers become smart farmers. At the same time, we won plenty of international award for SDG goals, sustainability, and climate change. So these are some of our deployments. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Miller. Congratulations. Now let's move on to the juries. I think Jack and Shulpika already opened their mic.
Yeah. Hey Miller, thanks for that. I'm super curious. How do you see the larger players? Because the European landscape is obviously dominated with a different type of farmer.
Exactly.
How do you see the larger European players? Well, I guess, are there opportunities for you to collaborate with them?
Definitely.
I'm just curious how you see this roll out in Europe.
Definitely. Definitely, this is not a complete innovation. We're just filling a gap. As you rightly said, Israel playing a huge role on this particular industry in terms of precision agriculture. So our specialty, as I mentioned, is the crop-specific localized intelligence, which can be piggybacked on existing hardware providers and agri-tech companies as well. So most of the intelligence which build globally, which is for vineyards or it's for peach or olive type of things, there is nothing for Indian mango or Sri Lankan cinnamon. So that's what our specialty, building something for crop specific, which can be globally adopted. So that software intelligence and the IoT platform, which our uniqueness, which can be utilized by other existing companies who are not into this particular crop variety. So we already having discussions with Indian large players. So there are multiple options they are specialized on. We are not a special company which is doing everything, but we have special features which can be piggybacked and plugged into their existing system and run across. We are coming from a small country. Definitely we need to expand through partnerships. That's what our vision also. As you rightly said, we definitely looking for partnership with active companies as well. Thank you for the question, Jack.
Hey, Miller. Oh, Jack, you're on mute. Did you?
Yeah,
I don't hear you. Oh, okay. Hey, Miller, congratulations. I'm curious where you are right now in the roadmap and like what your outlook is for this year specifically.
Sure. Actually, Stephanie, there are two key drivers which is driving SenseAgro: the number of farmers and the number of partnership and the channels they are creating. So in that sense, we are in 6,000 farmers in Sri Lanka alone at the moment, mostly from FPOs and agribusinesses. And we are creating 8 partnerships globally in Middle East, Japan, Australia, and Ecuador. So these are sales channels what we're expecting. So we try to replicate the model continuously in pure business development to increase the number of partners to represent us in different ecosystem without exclusivity. At the same time, increasing the number of farmers who are sourced by SenseAgro. So that's where we are at the moment. So this year, we already are present in 5 countries. This year, we are expanding that to 10 countries, especially Netherlands, Spain, and India. Mostly we are already in discussions of partners.
And so your acquisition strategy is through partnerships?
Yes, it's a B2B2F model, business to business to farmers.
And when you get this investment that you're looking for, who would be the key hires?
So mainly it will be a network provider. It will be a business developer in Europe. Mostly it will be in Netherlands, what we are looking forward to have. So who can make agribusiness collaborations and agriculture companies like irrigation providers, greenhouse builders, partnership making. So a little bit of a expert level network provider what we try to hire mostly. And the certification would be the second process.
Great.
Sure. I was just going to say, Miller, first of all, thank you. I think what you're working on plays so, incredibly into the whole climate crisis, solutions that people are trying to figure out. A question for me, you mentioned yourself a little while ago that what you're building, it's the tech is, let's say, a little bit more commoditized, but what is really when you have conversations with farmers or especially the big farming groups, I think on the smaller stakeholders, it might be a bit different. What does the conversation go in terms of what do you bring to the table? How are you competitive with respect to somebody else who might be trying to do the same? And that would be really valuable to understand.
Definitely. So for that question, I try to explain how the client base we accessing in Sri Lanka at the moment, which can be replicated in many countries. So in Sri Lanka, we focus on one specific crop variety and a related agriculture ecosystem, maybe a FPO or an agribusiness, so which has a large supply network. So 99% of the Sri Lankan farmers, maybe in the South Asia and Southeast Asia also, don't use technology for their agriculture practices. So our ultimate priority to building capacity building through digitalization. Very, very simple infusion what we do, real-time advisory, climate smart informations, and so on. Then eventually our technology get into it to optimize their productivity, identifying their loopholes and so on. So usually we're working with a commodity of farmers and we do samples, let's say 300 farmers, then we deploy for 30 farmers and create a showcase, which eventually create a ripple effect for all 300 farmers to adopt the smart technology. But from day one, they will be smart farmers by adapting capacity building to use smartphone advisory for their daily practices in agriculture field. So the same company, the same scenario can work in the Agan Bharat ecosystem, where they're using the Indian agriculture practices. It's starting from South Asia to East Africa and Southeast Asia and beyond Australian region as well. So it's a huge market to work on. Close to $25 billion market to access.
For sure, and I've also appreciate that it's a huge task, and I wish you all the best on your path. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you, Miller. Great presentation. I would like to invite everyone to put your hands up if it's possible. I would like to see if everyone is awake. Okay, good, good, good. I see some people that is only name, but hands up, hands up. Arvid, that's a really nice one. It's like a police is giving you a gun, but no, I'm not giving you any guns. So, okay, seems like everybody's awake. I'm happy to see that. And we are ready for the next founder. Adi from MicroTech.live. The virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Shira. Hi, everyone. Good morning and good evening, where you are. The bad news, leather product that we wear today is polluting. However, mushroom can save it. So back to 2012, my co-founder and I started selling gourmet mushroom in a small village in Indonesia. My background is architecture and my partner is biotech engineer. So we wondered, is there any possibilities to bring this technology, this mushroom technology, as a building materials? So in 2016, we collaborated with ETH Zurich and Karlsruhe Institute in order to create a structural element made entirely from mushroom composite. And it works. Somehow, through this technology, we can also harvest paper-like materials by peeling off the surface. Until 2018, my friend, who also owned sneaker brand, asking, is there any possibility to create sneaker? Not really sure back then, but our team figuring out how to turn paper-like materials into more flexible and mimicking leather into create as a sneakers like this one that I also holds this one. So starting a small humble beginning from selling gourmet mushroom, and then now we want to bring this technology to the biggest polluting industry in the world, fashion. So in the past 3 years, we did product market fit. We launched it through Kickstarter campaign, selling it to 100 customers. And 6 months ago was a historical moment for us because we participated at Paris Fashion Week, collaborating with prize-winning designers, LVMH prize-winning designers from Japan. They successfully create this badass leather jacket made entirely from our mushroom leather. They also create 8 beautiful products made out of it as well. So not only that, we also gain some trust from other 6 global brands like Under Armour, Camper, and even German-based company Zalando and Bonprix. It's good working with them from the biggest polluter. Now they can create a product collections that is 70% saving water, 68% reducing global warming potential, and 17% energy efficiency. So in total, we have LOI, book of sales, about $10 million US. It is equal to produce 200,000 pairs of shoes. But however, the current existing capacity that we have is only able to serve 700 pairs of shoes. So that's why we're inviting you to join our visions in order to bring these materials to the wider customers or markets. So people can start saving the environment from their closet. So currently we are in the midst of closing our fundraising. Sort of investment is $5 million US. Half of it already committed from fashion for good, third derivative from USA are joining. Even some oil and gas also having a self-commitment to participate. So we're still looking for co-lead investors that can bring us to the next level. And also we are also planning, since we have customer base in Germany, so we also interested to strengthening our presence there as well. So with the additional fund, hopefully we can increase our production capacity to 50,000 square foot this year, and then 250,000 in the next year, so we can keep up to supply the existing demand. So yeah, I would like to share some ridiculous statement from Paul Stamets, a mycologist. Mushroom can save the world. I know it's ridiculous, but somehow today you will see a different way how mushroom can save the world, from creating a food, creating a bricks, and now a fashions. So yeah, now I understand what he meant to do. So I'm Adi, CEO and co-founder of MYCL. Looking forward for having a feedback and collaborations.
Congratulations, Adi. Shilpika, yes.
Yeah, no, this is awesome to see. I think it was delivered really beautifully, and I think the mushroom part is a very interesting conversation for many people to have. Adi, I was curious. I think what you're building and what you aim to do, especially in the supply chain side, is so critical. Is there, when you talk to potential procurers, there's something that mushrooms bring to the table, we know they do, that other, like, better, sort of climate-friendly materials don't?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think,
is there durability, is there circularity, is there an unfair advantage there?
Yeah, sure. So I think when we compare it to other vegan leather, right now the only available vegan leather in the world is made entirely from plastic or something that is covered by PE or PVC. Meanwhile, our product doesn't have any those chemical or even heavy chromiums or heavy metals. So it, in terms of the fire resistance, it's much better. And then when we're talking about the abrasions itself, it's also good. So I think there is, and the most important part is the production cost, because it made from agricultural waste that is abundant and unused. So it is much cheaper than animal or synthetic leather.
And I suppose like its degradation cycle is also much better in terms of how long it takes to degrade. I also noticed that you're in the third derivative cohort, so congratulations. I think that's really
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your journey with us. Wish you all the best.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Adi. Congratulations. Mushrooms are definitely going to save the world. I agree. So in terms of your competitive landscape, you talked about this plastic, vegan, other competition, but in this mushroom space, can you talk to us a little bit about who's out there?
Yes, so there are some competitors from US or even in EU at this current moment, and we are very inspired by them and very respecting what they are doing, because they recently have an engagement with Mercedes as well to create a upholstery or car seat made of mushroom leather. But I think we see the excitement of the brands using mushrooms as a future leather. It's really interesting, and then somehow these existing companies alone doesn't able to serve all of the demand that we have in the world. So I think it's good, particularly in Asia. So we see that's why we're starting from Asia, strengthening in Asia, and then now we are trying to see opportunities outside the Asia, starting from Berlin.
Is there any IP or like something that you've patented that is that you can own?
Yeah, so we have a different approach to produce this. So we have currently 4 IP or patents and many trade secrets in order to create this. So yeah.
Great. Okay, I'll let Jag ask the last question.
Yeah, I just want to dig in on the material innovation side. I'm familiar with a company called MicroWorks, which is one of your competitors in the US, right? Like they also claim to have patents, and so I'm curious how you can differentiate, because their collaboration was with Hermes a couple of years ago, right? So it seems like there's more than one startup that can do this, and I'm a big believer that actually the pie here is so large that we probably don't have enough startups yet that are going to be doing this, that they can get this to market to satisfy the demand, as you so correctly pointed out. But I'm curious, what is the real differentiation here? And it's kind of a follow-up to Steph's question.
Yes. Yeah, thanks, Jack.
How would you answer that?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that. Yeah, MicroWorks is a very respectable competitors. We recently they just announced like closing 125 mil funding, which is really great. But if I can able to share what's the differentiate is, I think we know or we have some proprietary technology that can bring the product cost lower than other existing competitors right now. We can bring this product cost less than $5 or even below $3, which currently the existing competitors mostly pricing is around $20 to $50 per square foot. So I think that's one of the advantage that we have. And also we found how to grow this mycelium ladder faster than other competitors. So I think, yeah.
So if I can just ask a quick follow-up there, I guess if the average price of leather is, if I'm not mistaken, it's between, like, per square foot, it's between $7 and $9. And you're saying, you're doing it for 50. At what point, or what's the level of scale that's required in order to achieve those efficiencies, in order to bring this down to parity almost, or maybe even cheaper than, because the context for this question is, if you look at the parallel with the plant-based food market, right? Beyond Meats and Impossible Foods, they've been pitching that they'll be able to bring this down. I'm curious how, maybe you could speak to that a little bit more.
Sure. I will bring this about these segmentations, but I will deep dive more in this mass leather price segmentation. So leather costs, yes, that's you're right, $7 to $8. And then, however, in order to leather to produce in this level, to reach this level, they need to produce like 3 to 4 million square foot per year. However, with this mycelium leather, we can only increasing production to 50,000 square foot. And then the price is lower to $8. At this current moment, this is our cost of productions. But when we reach $50,000, the production cost is $4. So this is the selling price. So I think with this mycelium leather, I think it's much more affordable than the other existing competitors, or even animal leather or synthetic leather.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Adi. Congratulations. And I love how everybody are really, this cohort, supporting each other on the chat. I love to see this interaction. It's so beautiful. And Jack, I like what you did there. So let's move on. We have 2 more startups. So Somita, are you ready?
Hey, hi, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Shomita, and I just have one tiny question for all of you. How many of you have skipped a wedding because you didn't have something to wear? I don't really have the time to get a feedback, but I'll tell you, I'm one of them. And that's not exactly because I was aiming to, fit into something in 3 weeks' time and I failed. But there was just absolutely nothing in my wardrobe, which doesn't make me look like a sack and let me go in. And there was no way for me to actually refill my wardrobe either. because I couldn't find clothes which I could wear easily, even with help and even with pain. After I started losing my mobility. So I have pain, I am depending on someone else, which I really don't like. And still, I don't like the way I look. So that was not nice, especially when you're presenting yourself to other people. And, born in the 1980s, I thought like everything that had to be done for people to live happily was like already done. And so I went on the internet and I started searching for it. And no, so adaptive clothing was not really a huge thing yet. And though there are lots of brands in US, Canada particularly, but not as many. And then I thought, oh, am I the only person who is having this problem? And guess what? I am not. So there are 18% of the UK population who have the same problem. 1 in 7 million people in the world have this problem. In Europe alone, it's 135 million. So that's like a lot of people who don't have clothes to wear. And I was so desperate to go for my cousin's wedding, and that made me so upset that I thought I should just change this. And that is precisely why I started Zeneca Inclusive Fashion. We make clothes that are easy to wear, and this is how we do it. The designs, the patterns are different. We bring down the time of wearing it. Most people with any kind of disability take around 20 to 35 minutes to wear it. And with our clothes, you can wear it between 30 and 90 seconds. The level of impairment, so, some people with even 15% impairment, they need other people's help. And we take it up to 80%. And you have definitely wider styles. That was the first reason I got into it. We have easy fasteners, and the fabric combinations are some of the main focus that we keep on. When we looked at our users, we divided them into 3 categories: independent, completely dependent, and partially dependent. It is this partially dependent category which is our main focus, really, because they are the ones who can get independence and look really good while they wear clothes that are easy. The other 2 categories, particularly group category number 1, which is the completely dependent category, they are also very often not seen because we have invisibilized them. And very often the caregivers struggle with their clothing, and that is what we bring them on. So who is it that they need this kind of clothing? Senior citizens, people with arthritis, Parkinson's, or any kind of chronic disorders, any kind of lifelong conditions like autism, cerebral palsy, long-term illnesses like cancer care, or a short-term problem like fracture or surgery. And I'll just give you like one tiny example of what we do. This is particularly for men in wheelchairs or men who have Parkinson's, and very often even senior citizens who have a loss of balance. As you can see, this trouser, it opens up very differently. So this helps people in accessing the toilet easily as well as safely. You don't have to really hold on to your trousers while really answering nature's call. Now, where are we? We are, so this current financial year, we were particularly focused on direct to customer bespoke model, and we have sold around 100 units. And towards the last 3-4 months, we have been slowly shifting our model to also include the B2B model. And we have already sold 3,500 units. I don't like the sound for sure. And I'll just very quickly say that our procurement is also very inclusive. We procure particularly from people who are from the marginalized and vulnerable communities, particularly people who have disabilities. So what is my ask from you today? Please join in, be my partner. Help me connect with your network who will, particularly in Northern Europe and in India, for more B2B connections where we can supply our clothes, and also brands who may be looking for production partners like us. Thank you so much, and happy to answer any questions you may have. So I finished 15 seconds early only so that I don't hear the other sound. I hope I don't hear the other sound.
It's gone now.
All right, thanks.
Congratulations. Okay, now let's move on to our juries. Questions, feedback?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, Steph, go for it.
Okay. Hi, Sumita. Good to see you again. I have a question around like the market potential, the market size, and the ways in which you kind of respond to questions around fundraising, because I can imagine that that investors say that the market's not big enough. So what's the strategy in you know, getting funding and showing that there's, for example, repeat customers, or whatever it is that you intend to do to get that funding?
Yes, thanks. So I already do have a few repeat customers, and this is at a time when I have not yet been able to optimize my social media, which is my main way to go to people. And in terms of numbers, I'm just going to start quoting about India much more now, because that's where my experience is. So we have like 12 million people, just the senior citizen alone, who need help, of the 110 million senior citizens altogether who live here. And then there's like a growing industry around them constantly. And the numbers that serve them are high in terms of services and also in terms of products. So this is just going to be an added product. The way I look at my product is that it is replacing clothes, which does not help you with something without really charging you much more. The premium for these clothes are not really, I start my range at 950 INR, which is really not very high. And it goes up to around 4,500 INR. If you have a very specific bespoke requirement, it goes higher, but this is the usual range that I work in. So this is really what people would be paying anyway. So I'm offering them something better for exactly what they're paying right now. And in terms of numbers, there are other many, I mean, arthritis alone has 180 million people in India. And we all know they suffer from, you know, fine motor skills. We tend to ask people for help. We tend to, what is very well known, called adjusting around things. So this is something they will not need to do anymore.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Sumita. So I have a question, and I think it's also trying to challenge, and I think Steph definitely like pointed to it. What is the most misunderstood thing about your business and its potential? Because I definitely understand, I think once you're in those communities, your success rate in loyalty and recurring sort of customer base is likely to be very high, because you're serving a need without charging a premium for it necessarily. So is there something you want to share? And maybe that helps us also understand the market a bit better.
Sure. So there are two things people ask me. One is that why hasn't somebody else done it already? And I have a very simple answer. I said, first, there are people who are trying to do it, not necessarily here and not necessarily at the scale at which I am doing. And second, it took like people some 80 or 85 years to figure out plus size clothing when people were right in front of their faces. And here we are not really right in front of them. So and we are not right in front of them because of these reasons, you know. So that's one. Second thing that people ask me is related, is like, we don't get to see so many people who really need these clothes, and that's my answer. You don't see them because they don't have the option to show themselves to you. And the numbers are very, very clear. The healthcare industry is getting richer, and just serving them. The paramedical industry is getting richer. I mean, if you just look at wheelchairs itself, they sell a lot, and they are improvising over and over again. There are some mid-range wheelchairs which is at like 1 lakh INR, which is quite a lot, and they are selling really, really well. So there is definitely a market out there.
Yeah, for sure. No, thank you for sharing. I think like there is going to be the market, I think there's huge potential, and somebody's going to win, and you have like all my wishes to make that happen. Jack, do you want to step in maybe with a few questions?
I'm incredibly impressed with your pitch. I actually think you could have done it without the slides. Just you on camera would be so much more powerful. But in terms of the reception that you've had to this so far, to me as an investor, it seems like a no-brainer. I'm basically almost ready to write a check right now. Why do you think investors aren't, buying into this yet.
Are you asking me about the investors, or are you asking me about the market itself?
Investors.
Investors. I haven't really reached out to too many investors yet.
There we go.
I mean, I have my reasons. If you want me to elaborate, I can, but that's the short answer.
I think this is the start of the conversation. So I'd love to have a follow-up chat. That's what I'm saying.
I would love that too. Yes, sure. I would love that.
Great. Thank you. Looking forward for these follow-up conversation. Next, we're gonna have last but not least, Irene. Are you there?
Absolutely, ready to rock and roll. So
yes,
why don't we just go ahead and get
yours.
started. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Irene Lachenmayer, and welcome to Insight Pact. So we're currently living in an era that gives me a lot of anxiety. Somebody who is in her late 20s and thinking about having a family of my own one day. Not really sure yet how this pandemic is going to unfold. We have the climate crisis to worry about. Global wealth inequality is rising. It's a really insecure and stressful time to be in. And there are a lot of people who have dedicated their lives to tackling the issues that I've just mentioned. And given the gravity of these particular issues, it's understandable that they are feeling burnt out and overcapacity. And if you've worked on a team, or you've been a leader, you've been working on a team of any kind, you know that these emotions of feeling burnt out and overcapacity creates stressed out teams, a lot of internal misalignment within the team, and a lot of scattered action taking. I've learned that through working with some of these change makers, they often feel distracted and overwhelmed when they have to organize the gatherings that are supposed to foster this alignment to help them achieve their mission. And at the same time, they also lack the internal capacity that's needed for them to build the kind of resilience in teams that is needed for them to thrive and be successful in this volatile and uncertain environment. In my opinion, these change makers, and I include myself in this group of people, really need alignment and future resilient skills to make sure that they fulfill their mission. And I personally feel really strongly that the future of our planet really depends on our success. So this is where Insight Pact comes in. We've been around since 2017 to support organizations that are committed to making a positive impact together with their stakeholders and communities. And the specific thing that we do is we facilitate collective action by enabling them, these change makers, to gather effectively, cultivate loving teams, navigate complex conversations, and build skills for resilience. And the big picture, like the main reason why Insight Pact exists and the world that we envision, is we want to live in a world where development organizations are made up of aligned and resilient teams who are fully equipped to fulfill their mission. That's the world that I want to live in, and I hope that that's one that you want to live in as well. So the partner organizations that we've worked with, our clients, are global teams who serve global stakeholders, various intergovernmental organizations across the UN system, global nonprofits and foundations, working on issues ranging from modern day slavery to the climate crisis to making open source knowledge available to everyone. And they've really trusted us, our team, to facilitate their most important conversations and to enrich their top talent. Concretely, let me just be clear, as a professional services provider, the exact services that we provide to achieve this goal of helping people gather effectively. One is we provide online and hybrid event management services to help these organizations transform complex conversations into collective action. We help to actually facilitate these conversations. And in order to support these organizations in cultivating strong team cohesion and build skills for resilience, we provide training and team building services. This is a slide that gave me goosebumps to prepare. We've grown a lot since 2019 from a core founding team of 3 people in Bangkok in 2019 to now a global first and diverse distributed organization of 13 people spread out across every major time zone in 2021. Given the history of our revenue growth since 2019, we're expected to continue to grow further in 2022 as well. I'd like to talk a little bit about why I think our organization is special. The first is that we are, before InsightPact even existed, social impact practitioners who have expertise in both facilitation and leadership development. We're a global team who have a lot of experience working cross-culturally, and given the range of our time zones, we essentially have round-the-clock time coverage because of it. We're trying to scale up our work through productized offerings and to establish our thought leadership further. And today, let me get to this slide. What I want from you is 1, guidance on how to scale well, insight on how to impact change in these larger organizations, and introductions to organizations you think might benefit from our work. I'll pause there. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to chatting more.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Irene. And I think the times that we live in, that is such critical work. The hardest work is definitely the most tiring. So thank you for doing what you're doing. I was trying to understand, when you work with different organizations, to what extent is the piece of the work that you do kind of packaged up? Or let's say when we think about scaling, can that be applied to different organizations the same way? Or is it very bespoke at this point, and then you're going to try to figure out if you can make it scalable and package it up? Like, that would be helpful to understand.
That is exactly the process that we are in the middle of doing, and figuring out how, like, what out of these experiences can actually be packageable, and for it to still be valuable to those on the receiving end. It's an art, it's not a science. We haven't figured it out yet, but I'm very confident that we will be able to, given already what we've been able to automate and drill down just in the past 6 months alone. So I really think that it's a matter of time, and not having demand is not the problem that we have. So I think that the need is there. We just need to understand what needs are sort of common denominators among the organizations that we serve.
And just to piggyback onto this train of thought, when you're looking at all the work that you're done with all these diverse organizations, how do you measure kind of how you're doing? How do you measure your impact? Because it seems to me that in measuring the impact and having a retrospective on each project that you do, these insights might surface, and then you might be able to see with the insights something that you can productize, or some service package bundle that you can offer that lets you scale. Because right now, the human factor is very tough to scale. There's something that needs to be automated there.
Yeah, we are not yet standardized in the way that we measure the impact of our programs, for very similar reasons to why we don't have standardized programs quite yet. So that's my priority for 2022 is how do we build products that last across various different programs, that have a way of measuring impact, not only immediately after the program ends, but also 3, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, 5 years down the line. How do we really stick around with these organizations long enough to actually be their partners throughout the change management process? We're just now reaching that point in our relationships with some of our partners, I would say between 4 to 5 organizations, where we've worked enough with them across maybe 5 programs on average, that we can actually have that like organization-wide conversation, so that it's not just a one-off training that we deliver for a day, but the work that we're doing is truly transforming the institution from the inside out. Yeah, I wish I had a cleaner answer for that, but it's still something we're working on.
Thank you.
Irene, I'm curious what types of organizations. I know you had a slide that showed your organizations, but I'm curious what departments within those organizations are most receptive so far. Can you just share that real quick?
I'd separate the answer into 2 types of services. When we're talking about events, it could really be any department whose main like work function or work priority requires bringing people together and getting them to agree on something and like come up with action items together. So historically, that's been the department within the UN organization in Bangkok that organizes their sustainable development annual meeting every single year, bringing in stakeholders from across Asia Pacific. Their focus on the environment, but it's more like the function that they serve is the convener type departments. And then we have the HR department for the more learning and development type services.
Okay, I guess the quick answer to your question about how you should be thinking about scaling is, well, it doesn't matter how you scale the as the product scales. I think the one thing that should stay the same is the customer centricity. And I get a feel for products when they're designed in a specific way, and the way that you were talking about it, and you and I have had conversations about what you're building separately, but I always get the sense that you are following that path. So whatever you do, just make sure that you keep doing that.
That's noted. Thanks a lot for your time and attention.
Cool.
Oh, we still have 10 seconds.
You got 9 seconds, go on. Yes, you're
I got stressed out by the timer. Just thank you, and I feel really lucky to get to be last. And thank you, all 3 of you, for all your questions and thoughts and supportive comments.
Thank you,
Irene. Congratulations, Irene, and thank you, all of our juries. It's been quite a ride, isn't it? 8 startups pitching their innovative, impactful businesses, trying to solve world challenges, social issues, etc. We are so proud to have you as our Impact alumni. Now we can say it's alumni. So we'll make sure we are connected still, even though this is the demo day, and follow up on your future success, because we see that there are some of potentials here with the conversation with our juries as well. Now we are a little bit time constrained, but we would love to still go on with the networking event, and also the one of the special guests that we have. Let me share my screen right now. All right. So, Dr. Rainer Seider, the stage is yours. Please share us your comments and also feedback and some messages to the participants of Impact Landing Pad Program Asia Berlin edition. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Shira. I enjoyed very much this afternoon together with you. For a minute, I had the impression that you have forgotten whom you should present now when you were just looking for your slide. So I'm very enthusiastic about the journey the startups made within the Landing Pad program. I had the pleasure to meet you already a couple of weeks ago when you were just starting here in Berlin. I say started in Berlin. Of course, you are not in Berlin, or unfortunately, you are not in Berlin. You are back home in your cities and your countries, but you started the participation in the program. And even then, I saw also, of course, the applications. I had a very good impression of the badge within the landing pad, but now it's the impression is even better. So I was very, very positively surprised about the badges. I liked it very much. And also thank you to the great thank you to the judges who were participating in the jury, who gave their comments, which I also know more or less well, so personal, and I'm very happy that there is a kind of community already built within this landing pad and between AsiaBerlin and the ecosystem in Berlin. So I would like really to thank you all for making this possible. Special thank you, of course, to enpact and to Shira for organizing that and curating the program and bringing the startups here today to present their companies and their ideas for internationalization through Berlin. So I'm very happy to meet you all, and I'm very interested in the future of your journey. Of course, I would like to meet you in person, because still a landing pad, which is digital, it's of course a bit easier to organize for all sides, but it's in fact it's not a real landing pad. So it's not close enough to the real world. And we were just discussing the weather at the beginning of the call, of the conference. If you don't feel the winter in Berlin, you don't know enough about Berlin. Of course, there are people, especially from South and Southeast Asia, who like to have a bit of rain and snow and cold weather and enjoy that for a couple of weeks. But if you have to live here in Berlin, the winter is probably the biggest and the only problem to survive, because it's too long, and it's maybe also a bit too late, and it's not enough winter. But it's, of course, it's you can't compare it with the seasons you have. So that's the reason to come physically to Berlin. But of course, the spring, summer, autumn are much better seasons to enjoy that, and that's the reason why I really want to see you here all. Separately or together, if possible, another day more in spring, and maybe also for the next AsiaBerlin Summit in September, and end of August or September. So we will, of course, some of you already know the summit and also the AsiaBerlin initiative as a whole, where the landing pad is placed in. And it's from my side, it's very important, as already was explained at the beginning of the conference, to show also the context of the landing pad. It's not just that it's a batch of people who by chance were chosen to get an accelerator program here in Berlin, but it's in the context of a big construction site that we call AsiaBerlin, where we try to build bridges between continents, which is not always quite easy, because the difference of the distance and the time difference and the differences of cultures and sometimes languages are huge obstacles for cooperation. And that's why I'm very thankful also to your concrete plans for internationalization through Berlin and Europe. So I would like to invite all the founders, but also the audience here in the conference, to build the bridges with us, to build the bridges as networkers, but also as founders, as investors, to fill the gap between Asia and Berlin, and to make it easier to make business between the two continents. And also, what was quite clear in the conference today, to fill this activities also with a positive impact, which is very important for us as well. It's not just that we want to foster economic wealth in both continents, but also to contribute to build a better environment, work environment, but also physical environment with our activities, not just economic growth, but also environmental growth and protection of our society and environment. So that's the message of AsiaBerlin, with all these activities that are organized by enpact, including this landing pad and the delegation trip and the monthly AsiaBerlin events. So get yourself informed through the AsiaBerlin website or the newsletter, to be part of our common journey for a common ecosystem. Because in my view, the startup ecosystem of the future will not be a next Silicon Valley, but it will be a globally connected startup ecosystem. So the cities will be best not who have most investors or science, but who can offer international connection to their startup ecosystem stakeholders to connect globally. So that's our mission, that's our idea, and we hope that we, after these first two batches, we will see many more, and we are looking forward to a close cooperation with enpact. and our mentors to go on with these activities in the future. And I wish you all the best for the companies here presented, but also for AsiaBerlin from the perspective of the Berlin Senate. And again, I would like to thank you for having the chance to speak to the audience of this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Reiner. Thank you for your time and for your very passionate and motivating messages. I believe this bridge building that you initiated since a few years back can be a larger and a bigger community as times by. And we are also very much looking forward for the future landing pad programs, as well as delegation trips. So thank you again for your time. And now we would like to encourage everyone to join the networking session, because as Jack said, sorry, I'm gonna quote, this is where the magic happens. So we are here. And of course, we would like to emphasize that this program could not happen without the support of our donors and also local partners. So thank you very much for supporting us in selecting the startups, outreaching, and also your support in making this happen. Without you, there won't be a landing pad program by Impact AsiaBerlin edition. Moving on, before we go to the networking session, we was just I'm gonna give the virtual microphone to Sid to share and to.
Thank you so much.
There? Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shira. Thank you, Dr. Reiner. It's been a wonderful start to the new year with all of you pitching today. It's been an exhilarating journey to see all of you over the last 8 weeks to grow and transform into the final pitch presentations that we saw today. It's been really wonderful, and we are all very proud of the team. We are all very proud that you all founders joined us through the 8 weeks and worked hard. Thank you so much. Thank you so much again to Shira as well for moderating today's session. It was wonderful. And as Dr. Reiner mentioned, Shira mentioned that we are a bridge building community, and we would love to encourage more startups, more mentors, more investors to keep connecting with us, keep sending us your emails, connect with us on LinkedIn. We are all very passionate about meeting new entrepreneurs, about meeting new founders, meeting stakeholders that we really want to inculcate in our community. So please reach out to us, any of us, in any of the social media channels or via email, and we would love to see you again. Now I think we can officially open up the networking rooms to really let the magic happen, as that's the quote for today. And over to you, Shira, and Debbie to open the networking rooms. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Sid. I think this is, we need to probably discuss with MAGICBIT in terms of intellectual property or patent related code. Okay, so are you ready for the networking session? Now we will divide into three breakout rooms for 2 rounds. Each round will be 15 minutes. And we will only move the founder to different breakout room. Again, I would like to congratulate to all of the startups today for pitching until very late night. Now, Debbie, are we ready for the breakout room?
Yes, I am opening it now. I'll see you guys.
Great. See you in the breakout room. Our impactor will be moderating the breakout room.